Unboxing the Alienware AW2724DM. If at any point during the video you want to check out this exact same monitor, there's either Dell.com links or Amazon links below, because I think at the time of filming you can only get this at Dell.com, but let's get this thing unboxed. Now this is a 27-inch 1440p monitor that comes in around $400, which is definitely not class leading. However, there's a few things that I'm going to be interested in checking out. It should have better HDR, better color coverage, things like that. All right, Dell does a great job with packaging. You have a USB Type A to USB Type B, a display port, and then a display port to Type C, which is very cool. So that's probably for laptops. And then you have your power connection, because I do believe this has an internal power supply, which is super nice. All right, also here you have the bottom part of the stand. We've seen this many times if you're familiar with Alienware products. That very nice, almost like space gray finish. And they looks like they added plastic. I believe on other ones it's just bare metal. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Nice high quality thumb screw, and then the top half of the stand. And there it is. Alienware makes some of the best looking stands in the industry. Alienware on the side there, matte in front, kind of like a matte satiny, and then that more space gray. All right, to get these connected, you just line them up, use that thumb screw, and just twist them in with your fingers, and that's it. A very high quality looking stand, as well as feeling. It's got pretty much all the adjustabilities. I've used this stand quite a few times, and pretty good cable management here, room for a lot of cables. All right, we have a little box in here, which feels like it's just paperwork, but let's check it out. Yep, so we have got some Alienware stickers and, well, just some other stuff in there. But let's get to the monitor itself. Here it is. To make it very easy to get it out, just line these top tabs up with the top of that, and then just press down. There you go. They do a really good job making sure that it's easy to actually unbox this and use it. All right, so checking this out, I'm really a big fan of this like deep space gray colorway. These are gonna be RGB'd out on the back. Not a big fan of those because it does, well, bounce not even RGB, because this is a smaller element than that is. However, it's nice that you have it. Now, one thing I will mention on this newer one, this is obviously the model year of the 2024, since it is the 2724DM. What they added here is they used to put a cover back here. I never liked it, and here they actually added this really nice like sculpting, so there's no cover back here anymore, but I don't know if you can see, it's sculpted nicely and it looks a lot more high-end. It kind of sculpts in and then down. So connections, we've got our power over on the left side, all the way over there on the left side. A little bit annoying that it's so far to the left, but not a big deal. Then over on this other side here, we've got our USB Type B upstream, our HDMI, and then 2 display ports. I really do like they give you 2 display ports rather than 2 HDMIs. Now, for that upstream USB Type B port, we do have USBs, but down here. So if you can see underneath here, we got our 2 USB Type A's down there. Super nice placement, really like that. All right, but bringing this around to the front now, let's take this foam off. And there is the panel. Very pretty down here. We're seeing just little elements of being, well, just a little bit more modern and premium. I do like it. Very subtle changes, but this is very thin down here. You can see how close it is. Really subtle changes, but let's actually get into it. How is the stand? Well, we have height, tilt, swivel, and then we have full rotation. I believe this should go to both ways, so both that direction as well as that direction. A fantastic stand, but let's get this hooked up, see how it games. We're gonna go over a lot of things, and we're gonna do a ghosting test. Let's do it. All right, guys, now with it set up on the desk, let's turn it on. Should have a dedicated power button right there, and it does, and that comes on and it glows. You got FreeSync Premium Pro. That's nice, it fades out. I was hoping they were gonna update the menu system, but looks like they didn't. You have that joystick right in the middle right there, which does work well. All right, then with this up, also this is not my main PC, so ignore the clutter. So far, pretty unimpressive, but it's obviously nothing is maxed out right now. So let's turn this all the way up to 165 Hertz. It should have 180 Hertz overclock in the menu system, so we'll go into that. Yeah, there we go, nice and smooth now. Let's go into the menu system. Looks like it hasn't changed. We're gonna go into, we have preset modes here, FPS, MOBA RTS, RPG, sports, color spaces, which it looks like you can go into either the DCI-P3 or sRGB, which is very nice. Game 1, Game 2, those are all gonna be your custom settings. You have a warm, and then a cool, and then a custom color. You have tons of color modes here. We're gonna keep it in standard. Go down to the overclock, and you either have 170 or 180 Hertz. We're going to hit that 180 Hertz and test if this can do your full FreeSync Premium Pro with that full refresh rate. Continuing on through here, we have your response time settings. We will be testing that. Game enhanced mode, which is basically just, you can have a frame rate counter up there, a lot of different things, that's cool. We're gonna go into the brightness and turn this all the way up. This has a max brightness, it's rated at 600 nits. So far, it looks pretty bright, but definitely not 600 nits. That's probably an HDR. And then you have all of your lighting, pretty basic stuff for an Alienware, which is, well, I guess not basic. But yeah, all good things. So far, it actually looks very nice. We are gonna look, the coating does seem to be a very nice coating. And that's probably the biggest thing, is the image quality right off the bat. We're gonna go on a white screen. Okay, so just opening up a white screen in Firefox, we can see there is a little bit of that dirty screen effect, but way less of a thick matte finish. You can very clearly see that. I'm going to bet that in game it's going to increase the overall picture quality. I can already see it. It's definitely doing a lot better than thicker matte finishes. So huge pro right off the bat. Let's go into NVIDIA control panel, see if this can output 10 bits, maybe 12 bits of color. All right, so again, remember, we're at 1440p, 180 hertz. We're gonna see if this can output 10 bits of color, and it can. All right, but with that, let's hop in game, see how this thing does. All right, guys, jumping right in game. I just want to tell you right away, the thing that I notice is that this panel is absolutely beautiful. You can look at the specs and you can go, well, it shouldn't be that much prettier than everything else, and this is why we do reviews. This panel is far superior to most IPS panels out there. It is still an IPS. The biggest difference here is the coating. This is a really good coating. Even when looking up at the white up here, I cannot see that dirty screen effect. Now, not quite as good as having a glossy finish, but this is really damn close to a glossy finish overall. The brightness here, the vibrancy is beautiful. The reds, the fire is just absolutely stunning. We're also getting 180 hertz, which is really, really nice. 1440p is exactly what you would expect. It's like nothing is different there. The game looks absolutely fantastic. The clarity of the image is the biggest thing. This is something you will not be able to understand unless you've used a panel that's more like a glossy finish, and here you get that. This is a significantly better experience than 95% of gaming monitors out there. This honestly makes me really excited for what Dell and Alienware are gonna continue doing, because they're obviously noticing that, well, people want that clarity over not having the reflections, because honestly, if we're gaming most of the time, it's gonna be in a dark room. And most of us would way rather deal with the beauty of a panel over not having sharp reflections. That's really the only difference. I think most of you guys, if you saw this, would be, well, really, really impressed, and I am really impressed. The brightness is really good here. I'm not sure what it's hitting, but it's definitely over 400 nits in SDR. All right, guys, but that's enough gaming. Let's see how this does with ghosting. In-game, didn't really notice anything. I think this is probably gonna be perfect, but let's see. Yeah, and without changing any of the factory settings, this is basically perfectly crystal clear. We are going to increase the speed here to see what you would see with more faster whips in a controlled environment. So we can see here a very, very, very small trail. We are going to change the response time settings, see how it does. Go into game, down here into response time. It's on the slowest setting. Let's hope that it does better and faster, although it's still very good, and in faster, it looks like we're having quite a bit of pixel overshooting or inverse ghosting. In extreme, just a lot. So it looks like the best one is going to be fast. Still very, very good. Just a hair away from being absolutely crystal clear, but overall very impressive. 180 hertz, we're getting closer to 240 hertz just with an overclock. But that clarity of the panel is the absolute biggest thing here. And I think there was also some Dell monitors at a lower price point, and it'll be interesting to see if those also have a non-matte finish. I don't think they have the same specs or the same brightness or anything like that. But so far, $400 seems like a really good price for having a significantly higher brightness over something like the Gigabyte M27Q. I believe that's it. But that one is again at 1440p 27-inch monitor coming around $300. So being $100 more, giving you this coating and increased brightness, 95% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. Just an unboxing. We're gonna do the full review coming soon. But so far, this looks really good, and it may be a really good option when compared to the Gigabyte, that if you want some of that extra, if you want better picture quality overall, this could be a really good way to get it with only about $100 more. All right, but again, if you want to check it out, there's links below, but the full review will be coming in a few days, probably about a week. But this is Type C Tech Reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next video.